Hey guys, StandardFX here, and I'm back with another tutorial. In today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make some 3D text in Cinema 4D and placing it into Photoshop to make a sort of sceney background sort of looking thing. Maybe something that, well, along the lines of this, just taking the text and put it into Photoshop and just do something with it, to be honest. Okay, let's just jump into Cinema 4D. So you're probably new to this program, so you're going to want to start off by heading into the render settings up here, going to output, the preset, film and video, and just changing it to 720 HD. And let's just do this for now. Add effects, ambient occlusion, depth of field, and global illumination. They just give extra effects to the text when we're doing it. Also, we can head into save and checking alpha channel and PNG, and I'll show you why you need PNG and alpha channel later on. So you can close that for now. Okay, so let's head over to making our text. Let's go to the MoGraph tab, go to MoGraph text, and I'm just going to write standard, there we go, and click font, so you can change your font. Oh yeah, and fonts for 3D, this is the website that I use for fonts. It's called defont.com. There's only one thing with fonts, and that's whether it's going to work or look good in Cinema 4D. Something like this, where the font is completely filled in, will work. Things like this with loads of lines, they just won't come out right, and like this one, that one might come out right, but I wouldn't really use it. I would use more bold fonts because it gives a better effect. Okay, so let's head back into Cinema 4D. I'm going to be using a font called, where is it? Big Macca, that's the font. Okay. Okay, so I'm just using the scroll to zoom in and out. If you hold down Alt and click the mouse wheel in, you can move around your screen. Sorry, that was a text. And if you hold down Alt and hold down the mouse at the same time, you can sort of move around, just rotate, and it's just easier for setting up your screen if you know the shortcuts instead of using these icons up here, because they're quite difficult to use and take a lot more time. So we have our text. I'm now going to I'm going to load materials, glossy materials, and I'm just going to double click here by adding new material, and I'm going to change it to black. Okay, right, so I'm going to drag and drop it under MoGraph text, so now we should have some black text. So what you want to do now is click the MoGraph text, Control C, Control V to copy and paste, and I'm just going to remove the black off of that and take this cyan blue and drag it over. And just saying, if you want to make your own materials up here, just double click, mess around with the colour, like say you want that blue, okay, and then head over to basic and just add some like luminance and reflection, change it down to what you want, and you can get like your own effects, and that it's really not that difficult. So once we have that, I'm going to click the copy, and using this blue arrow thing here, I'm going to just drag it back a bit and make the depth 40, and then head over to the cap section, start fillet cap, end fillet cap, and you'll see that it, just click off this, it just makes the back end just stand out a lot more. Right, now we can start adding to our scene. So I'm going to head over to this section here by holding down and then letting go on light. So we'll just add some light to this scene by moving the arrows. It's not that hard to get used to. Okay. Alright, let's just move this one along, and I'm gonna Control C, Control V, and just move it along this end. So we have like a nice lit up scene here, and because of our render settings here, we should have a nice effect on the text, and PNG alpha channels checked. So let's just click the render here and see how it comes out. It shouldn't take too long. Okay, so that's come out a little bit bright, so let's just delete these lights and see how that comes out. Okay, so now that's too dark, so we can just keep editing to our scene. I'm going to zoom out here and just rotate around so I can move this light to adjust the scene. Oops, wrong way around. This may seem a bit laggy, it's because it is, because my laptop isn't really brilliant, let's not lie, but it still works. So let's just see how this is looking. Render again. Let's change the intensity down. 50, render again. Okay, you know what, I'm just going to leave it as that, and let's just head over to Photoshop. Actually, how long have I been recording? 7 minutes, okay, yeah, we should head over to Photoshop. So you want to click this button, which is the actual render. Maximize this a bit. And orange is in the making of a frame. If you were to make like an intro or video, you would have about, depends on how long your intro is. If it was about 15 seconds, it would be about 500 frames, I think. And that would take a long while to render, so still just rendering it out here. Once it's gone green, it means it's done. Okay, so it's green. Okay, so let's do File, Save As. And this is where you need to make sure the setting is at PNG and alpha channel is selected, otherwise it won't come out of Photoshop. And you're thinking, well, why do I have this background here, the black background? Don't worry, that will disappear. That's why you need these settings. Press OK. I'm just going to save to my desktop. There's text. Okay, so we can just minimize this. And let's head over to Photoshop. Going to create a new document on 280 by 800. Okay. I'm just going to start off by unlocking the background as I always do, and File, and this is where we get our image. You want to go to Place and Text. There you go. And this is our text that we had. That looks a bit funny. Okay, right, so we can... That's fine. Alright, now we can start adding to our scene. So, I'm just going to do a simple one, just like with a few vector lines. So let's just rotate this around a bit so it looks a bit straighter. And I'm going to use the marquee tool, because it's a little more accurate at drawing lines. Let's just go with that, and then right mouse, actually no, create a new layer, sorry about that, and then right mouse, fill black. Right, actually we could, okay, that doesn't matter at the moment. Okay, let's change our background layer to a black. Deselect, sorry. Black. Okay, right, now let's right mouse click, click there, and then you can start adding effects. I'm gonna do a stroke white. Let's see how this looks. Not too good. Let's do an outer glow. Normal. Okay, right, let's... There we go. Right. Just messing around with settings here. Okay, right, so now we've got an outer glow. I'm just going to change this to white, that layer. Probably going to change this around quite a bit. Not really too sure what I'm doing here, but just making a current scene. So you see how I import this into Photoshop and it's all still 3D. Instead of doing painstaking move around loads of layers in Photoshop to make the text look 3D. Let's move this underneath. And let's Control J to duplicate, or whatever. And Control J again. Let's just move that. There we go. And add a big line there. Fill white. Okay. Oops, I've made a mistake, 1 sec, I didn't make a new layer. Create a new layer. Fill white, there we go. Okay, now we deselected that, we can start adding effects. I'm probably going to change the colours around. Actually, let's add a texture. So, gonna add actually let's merge these layers together. Merge layers so we can add effects a lot easier. Let's do stroke black size 5. Okay, right. Now I'm gonna change this back again. And add a texture. Let's create a new layer first so we don't forget. So we go place, let's see how much time I've got. Okay, so I'm gonna start wrapping this up soon. Computer, graphics, and textures. Let's have a look what we can add here. That would be quite good. Black backdrop. Let's see how this works out. Okay. Right, oops, I need to place that. And you can just see how you can build up an image here to make it look, you know, much better. I'm just trying to rush this, just so I can, you know, just show you guys what sort of things you can do and just change effects around and that. It's really not that difficult to set up a nice theme and have a nice background for yourself. I'm sure if you just mess around and try for a while, that you will like create something that you like. Okay. Alright, let's create a new layer. Alt and snap. Alright, and let's just add some effects onto these lines. Change my brush to about 200 of this. And change the colour. Add like a cyanide blue. This seems to be a wasp in my room. Go away. Right. You can see we've added these effects. That looks quite nice. And what that did was the colour, just basically if you unsnapped it, it would go on the background as well. But if you hold Alt and click it to the lines layer, it just goes on the lines, so you can have like quite a good effect. And let's see what we can do to the text. How much time? Oh, actually, that is just about time. So, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you understand how you can do this. Cinema 4D in Photoshop. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.